Hello everyone and welcome to this new course. In this course we will talk about Tenable Security Center. This course for anyone in the cybersecurity, like cybersecurity engineers, IT staff who wants to implement, manage and use Tenable Security Center. You need knowledge in the Linux or Unix is helpful. That's to manage the Tenable virtual machines only. I am your instructor. I have a good experience in information security and IT infrastructure like networking, systems and solutions. I implement Tenable Security Center for several organizations. I implement Tenable Security Center and Tenable Security Center Continuous View. Our outline for this course will be the overview for Tenable Security Center. We will discuss the Tenable Security Center architecture and components. I will show you the installation and configuration. Then we will start using the Tenable Security Center by doing some vulnerability scan and checking the result for that vulnerability scans. I will try to make this course helpful for you by let's say transferring my experience to you in the implementation and installation. Tenable Security Center is one of the risk-based solutions. You can have a view of your IT security and compliance posture. It will help you to identify, investigate, and prioritize your most critical assets and vulnerabilities. In other ways, Tenable Security Center is a vulnerability management solution. It will help you to understand the vulnerabilities in your infrastructure like network devices, servers, solutions, applications, all of the infrastructure components. You will find out all the vulnerabilities. It will help you to understand them, to mitigate them by seeing the way to mitigate these vulnerabilities from the reports, and it will give you a good view of all the vulnerabilities, and it will help you to prioritize the solution for these vulnerabilities. Tenable Security Center, we have two versions of Tenable Security Centers. We have the Tenable Security Center and the Tenable Security Center Continuous View. I will show you and explain for you the difference between them right now after we know all the components. We have the Security Center itself. It's the repository and the server that will hold all the database, and in that server you can create the dashboards, reports, have all the vulnerability scan results and all the vulnerability results from all the components in that server. We have the NESIS scanner. This scanner will launch the scanning task to scan the network devices, the servers, or anything else. We have the NESIS manager. The NESIS manager is the server that will manage all the agent or NESIS agents installed on your infrastructure or endpoints. We have an agent for NESIS. If you don't want to launch a scan, you can use the NESIS agent to install it on the laptops, endpoint servers, and then that agent will send the vulnerability results or summary to the security center. We have the NESIS network monitoring. This is the server that will be located on the network itself. It will sniff the traffic or monitor the network traffic to find all the vulnerabilities on the network side. We have also the log correlation engine, LCE. This server is responsible to find all the vulnerabilities using the logs on your infrastructure devices. We have also the Tenable IO. It's the cloud version of Tenable Security Center. And we have also the WAS. It's the web application scanner. All of these components, you can find them on Tenable website, and we will talk about the Security Center and focus on the Security Center and the NISA Scanner, NISA Manager. In the future, I might record lessons for the network monitoring and the log correlation engine also. The Tenable Security Center. The Tenable Security Center consists of the NISA scanner. You can place the NISA scanner in your VLANs or segments in the network. Then the NISA scanner will send all the results to the Security Center. We have also the NISA agents. As I told you, these are agents. You can install them over or on the endpoint itself if you don't want to launch the vulnerability scanner from the Security Center or using the vulnerability scanner. This agent is useful for remote or for portable devices like laptops. So you can install them on the, let's say, laptops. And we have also the Tenable IO. Tenable IO is the cloud version of Tenable. Now we have the Tenable Security Center continuous view. The continuous view adds to the NISA scanner and the NISA manager. We add the LCE, it's the log correlation engine. This is the server, and you need to get the logs from your SIEM or from the endpoint itself by installing an agent. We have also the NISA network monitoring. The NISA network monitoring is a server. You will install this server on your network and configure one of the, let's say, core switches to mirror the traffic or the needed traffic to this server by configuring a spanning port. And this server will search in the network traffic for any vulnerabilities and report them back to the Tenable Security Center. And also we have the NISA agent and the Tenable IO and WAS. So the Tenable Security Center is the version that you will use only the NISA scanner and the NISA agent if we are talking on-premise, and you can use the Tenable IO on the cloud. The Tenable Security Center continuous view, it will add to the system, it will add the LCE, the log correlation engine, and the NISA network monitoring to have 24/7 monitoring or vulnerability monitoring. Now we will start talking about Tenable Security Center installation. For your reference, you need to get access to the downloads using a Tenable user account. If you are a client or a partner, you will have an account to access the Tenable downloads. For the documentation, it's for free for anybody. So you need to access the docs.tenable.com, and if you need to access the downloads, you will need to go to tenable.com/downloads. The Tenable Security Center OS requirement, we will start writing the Tenable Security Center like this, tenable.security center. So it can be installed in a Red Hat or CentOS 7 or 8. So you can prepare the OS by yourself, then get the packages from the Tenable downloads and install them on the Red Hat. But I recommend using the Tenable virtual appliance. Its name is Tenable Core. So I will show you how to download the Tenable Core. It's a predefined OS, installed OS with the service installed on that OS. So you need to download and import the VM. No need for any other installation. Then you can configure the IP address and start using the Tenable solution. So I recommend using the Tenable core. Now let's talk about the storage requirement. Tenable recommend installing Tenable Security Center on a direct attach storage or a SAN storage. Tenable does not support the NAS storage. It will be installed in the opt directory, and it's recommended to use a high performance disk like SSDs. Now about the CPU and memory. As the picture you see here, if you are using the Tenable Security Center to handle the 2500 active IPs, here is the requirement. It's a 4 cores and 8 gig of RAM. If you want to store for 90 days, you need 125 gig, and so on. You can check all the requirements here. This is if you are using or running a basic network scans and a local checks. If you want to run basic network scans, local checks, and one configuration audit, here is the requirements for the CPU cores, memory, and disk space. It's the same for CPU and memory, but it's different for the storage itself. To be honest with you, I don't recommend using the 8 gig RAM for the security center. I prefer to use 16 gig of RAM. I told you that this is the requirement for the Tenable Security Center if you are willing to install the solution on a separated OS. But if you want to download the Tenable core and install it, you can do it. The hardware and software requirement is the same. As I told you, here is the CPU, memory. I prefer to use this requirement in your production servers to have a good performance for the server. 8 cores and 16 gig of RAM and half tera for the storage. So this is all about the Tenable Security Center. If we talk about the NIST scanner, it can be installed on Linux, Windows, and Mac OS, and here is the versions that the NIST scanner support. I will show you the requirements on the browser right now by visiting docs.tenable. If you are willing to scan up to 50,000 hosts per scan, here's the requirement for it. It needs 4 cores and 4 gig of RAM minimum. It's recommended to use 8 gig of RAM. And the disk space, you need 30 gig, not including the OS. The NIST Manager, the server that will manage the agents if you are willing to install agents. It's the same software for NIST scanner, but it will hold a different rule. You need 4 cores and 16 gig of RAM. Now, as I told you, you can use NIST VMs or NIST Tenable core. You need to make sure there is no NAT configured, because that may result false positives and a wrong data. After preparing the hardware requirements, you will need to go to Tenable Downloads and download the software. As you can see here in this picture, we have the NIST, it's the NIST scanner, it's the NIST agents. Here is the NIST network monitoring. if you are willing to install them on a separate OS and the Tenable Security Center also, we have the Tenable Core here down. The Tenable Core, you will find the Tenable Core plus Nessus, Tenable Core plus Nessus Network Monitoring, Tenable Core plus Tenable Security Center. I will show you right now. You can write docs.tenable.com. It will open this page. To access the Tenable Security Center documentation, you need to press this one. You can access here the release notes, guides, and anything else. We have the Tenable Core version also here. Here I will press Tenable Security Center. You will find here the requirements. If you want to go to the hardware requirement, here you can find out the storage requirements, and here is the CPU memory and all the information that we talked about earlier. So this is Tenable Security Center hardware requirements if you are willing to install it on a separate OS. If you want, here is the software requirements. It's the Red Hat, and I will show you the Nessus also. Here is the hardware requirements for Nessus, and this documentation for Nessus that be installed on a separate hardware. To go to the right document, if you are willing to install and download the Tenable Core, you will need to press the Tenable Core. As I told you, we have the versions here. We have Tenable Core plus Nessus. This version is for the predefined OS plus the Nessus service, Nessus Scanner or Nessus Manager. Here we have the Nessus Network Monitoring with the Tenable Core, and here we have Tenable Security Center and Tenable IO and Tenable Core with the Tenable OT. We'll focus on the Nessus. Here is the requirements for the Tenable Core plus Nessus. It's the same as the separated OS. And here is the Nessus Manager requirements. Please visit the site and check these or those data with me. And here we have the Tenable Security Center. We have also all the information here for Tenable Security Center. As you can see, here is the CPU, memory, disk space, and all data we talked about. Now, if we need to go to Tenable Downloads, as you can see here in the Tenable Downloads page, we have the Nessus version, Nessus agents, Network Monitoring, Security Center. Let's start by viewing this Nessus. As I told you earlier, you need to log in to get access to all the versions here. So, for the Nessus Scanner or Nessus Manager, here is the packages. Is the Ubuntu package, we have the Amazon package, we have Raspberry Pi, we have SUSE, we have Ubuntu again, Windows, and so on. Here's all the versions for the Nessus Scanner service. Here's the Nessus agent. We need to download also the Nessus agent. So here's the packages or the softwares packages for the Nessus agent. Here's the Tenable Security Center. You need to log in to download the RPM packages. Here's the Red Hat 7 and here's the Red Hat 8 software packages. You need to install those RPM packages over the OS that you installed before. We have also the integrations. Let's go to Tenable Core. Now this is the Tenable Core plus Nessus. It means the OS plus Nessus service. Let's go down. This is the Tenable Core plus Tenable Security Center. We have also the version for VMware, ISO, and Hyper-V. We have the Network Monitor and the OT version. And we have the Tenable Core offline update. This image is used if you have air-gapped networks that do not have when the server does not have any internet connectivity. This is the way, or you can use this offline ISO images to update the Tenable solution. Let's go back here. This is the Tenable Core plus Nessus service or Tenable Core plus Nessus Manager service. This is the Tenable Core plus Tenable Security Center. If you have VMware, please download this one. If you have Hyper-V, please download this one. For now, to start working in your own lab or in your own infrastructure, please log into your account and download the OV or Hyper-V images. It depends on your infrastructure. For me, I will work on the VMware images. And these remote endpoints do not reside on your network or do not come back to their offices, and they want to communicate through the internet to our Tenable Security Center or Nessus Manager. So I recommend to purchase the Tenable IO and connect those devices, the remote devices, the outside devices, to Tenable IO, Tenable Cloud Instant, then connect the Tenable IO to the Tenable Security Center. Let's start by deploying the Tenable Core. Please everyone deploy your VM and to start configuring the instance from the port 8000. I will show you right now. You need to make sure to understand these ports. First port is 8000. This port is used to administrate the Tenable instance. You might, or you may, or you can say that you can administrate the OS instead of going to the CLI. It will be used through this portal. For Tenable Security Center, you need to administrate the service itself by using the port 443. For Tenable Active Scanner, you will use 8834. Please write down those and make sure you understand the three of them. Now everyone turn on your VMs. Make sure to configure the hardware resources correctly. I turned on my machines and I will use those IP addresses. As you can see here on my presentation, here's the default username and the password. In this slide, you can see that we will configure the network and the host name and time. So, to our VMware, as you can see here, I'm using the VMware workstation for the testing purposes. My DHCP distribute an IP for the servers, but I don't want to keep using DHCP, so I will type wizard and admin. Here, as you can see, it says, would you like to configure a static address? I will yes. Then edit. This one is, as you can see here in the name, Tenable Core Nessus. This is my active scanner. Here, Tenable Core Security Center. So I will change this one to manual, press show, add the IP address. And you need to add the subnet. Here you need to add the gateway. Normal network configuration. I will add the DNS also. It's necessary to download the updates and the plugins for the Tenable Security Center. So press OK and quit. Here it's asking us about the admin. Yes, we need to create an admin. It will be admin, the username, and the password. Choose anything you can remember. As you can see here, the password must be more than 14 characters. I'm typing a long password. The account is created and I can log in by it right now. Done, great job. So let's check our ping. Here is the 201, it's ready. Now let's go to our security center and do the same. For the security center, I download or I have an old version. I will show you how to update it. Yes, we will edit. Let me do something here. What if you lost the wizard? What if you don't have the wizard right now? What should you do? I will create the admin. But I did not create or change the IP address. Okay. The admin is ready. Yes, here's it. I hope I can remember those passwords. Yes. If you forget or did not use the wizard, you can use this command nmtui. It will help you to configure the network for any Linux distribution. We will choose manual, show, add. I will add my IP address here. Don't forget the subnet mask, the gateway, the DNS server. As I told you, it's important. Now let me check the ping. As you can see here, it's not pingable. Okay, let's go back to our wizard. I press activate and disable for it, exit. Now it's running and working. I think this section is very easy. You need to deploy the VMs, add the hardware resources, the correct hardware resources, power on the VMs. You will find the login, use the wizard and the admin as a password. It's weird, but I know this is the default from Tenable. Then configure the IP address, the static IP address that you want. If you missed the wizard, you can use this command, the nmtui, to configure the IP address. For the host name and time, it's not necessary to configure it from the CLI. We will configure it from, boom, the portal with the port 8000. Let's go. As you can see,